In the American League West, the Texas Rangers have a 1.5 game lead on the Seattle Mariners. In the American League East, the Tampa Bay Rays have a 3-game lead on the Yankees. And in the Central, the White Sox and the Guardians are tied. Moving over to the National League East, the Braves are hanging on to a 2-game lead over the Philadelphia Phillies. The Brewers have a strong 5-game lead against the Chicago Cubs. And the Dodgers are in control of the National League West by 11.5 games over the Arizona Diamondbacks. The standings don't lie, and the box scores don't either. I'm Pete Dwyer, and this is the Division Line from the Baseball Nerd. 6 divisions, 30 teams, in one weekly breakdown of what the numbers actually say. Welcome back. Today's show is going to be a little bit different. It's the All-Star break. It's about fun, and it's about something that we get to do one time a year where we get to celebrate the game of baseball. And we've got 2 big pieces today. First up, the 2026 Home Run Derby. The field, the park, the format, and the myth that always comes with it. The idea that the Derby breaks hitters. Second, we're going to talk about the draft. Not one pick, not one headline, but 4 rounds. Because 1 pick can fool you, and 4 rounds can tell you what the organization actually believes. And the thread tying all of this together is simple. Data beats narrative. Let's start with the fun stuff in the Derby. The clock is gone this year. Citizens Bank Park is the stage. Tonight in Philadelphia, 8 sluggers are going to take batting practice swings in a swing-based format. 20 swings in round 1. 15 in the semis and the final. There's no bonus time. There's no safety net. There's not a clock to save you at the end, and every swing has to count. And that matters because the park matters. Citizens Bank Park is one of the best home run environments in baseball. It carries a 101 park factor in 2026, just above league average. But that number still undersells what it does for power hitters. The lines are short. 329 feet down the left field line, 330 to right. That's a friendlier shape than most parks will ever give you. There's a left center wall out there called the angle. And that wall rises from 12 feet to 19 feet. In a real game, that can matter. But in the Derby, not so much. These are batting practice pitches coming in straight. Nobody's trying to carve a perfect line into a weird wall. They're trying to launch baseballs into the night. And Bryce Harper has already shown what this park can do. Since 2023, he's hit 59 home runs here, and not just to one spot. 36% of them went to true right field, the pull zone everybody talks about. Another 25% went to right center. 12% went to dead center. And 15% went to left center. That's what happens when a hitter gets locked in at Citizens Bank Park. The whole right half of the park opens up. And the visiting players, they're not nearly as familiar. The 5 non-Phillies participants that have combined for just 2 home runs at Citizens Bank Park since 2023. So, yeah, the setting is friendly. But that brings us to the other question that always comes up every summer, and that's the curse. You hear it every year. Derby wrecks your swing. It messes with your timing. It ruins the second half. That's a story. It's a cautionary tale, I guess. And that's why a lot of guys turn it down. But I did some digging, and the data doesn't really back it up. I checked 7 years of Derby participants, from 2018 to 2025. Across 50 player seasons, those players in the Derby, OPS dipped from 876 before the Derby to 850 after. The home run rate slipped too, from 5.55% of plate appearances to 5.01%. They are declines, but they're not strong enough to prove the Derby caused them. Now the number that really matters, 24 of the 50 player seasons were better in the second half than in the first. That's a coin flip. If you want one season that shows how messy this conversation is, look at 2021. Shohei Ohtani entered the Derby as the biggest story in baseball. He lost in the first round, and in his second half, OPS fell hard. Juan Soto beat him that night, and Soto's second half jumped more than anyone else in the sample. Same event, the same stage, and the same kind of max effort swings. One got worse, one got better. If the Derby does break hitters, it certainly doesn't do it in a way that you can predict. The polar bear, Pete Alonso, is another example. For years, he looked like the cleanest anti-curse case you could make, especially with 3 second-half improvements from 2022 through 2024. 3 straight years, 3 straight improvements in the second half. Boy, go back to 2019 when he won the Derby as a rookie, that picture changes. That year, his second half OPS dropped. So even the poster child for the Derby doesn't matter has a counterexample sitting in the record. Then there's the injury question. That's usually the second reason players cite when they decide to skip the Derby. So I checked in on that too. In 7 years of transaction logs for Derby participants looking for injured list stints within 3 weeks of the event, I found one case. Byron Buxton had rib cage inflammation 13 days after the 2025 Derby. Maybe it was related, maybe it wasn't. But it happened while he was running the bases, not at the plate. But it's a little hard to pin down. What's not is one injury in 50-player seasons is not a pattern. It's a note. So if the body really isn't the issue, and the swing story doesn't hold up clean either, what are the players actually protecting? My thought, more than likely, is the scoreboard, the spotlight, the possibility of getting outsized attention in front of a packed ballpark that showed up specifically to watch you win. Now let's get to the field for 2026. Number 1 is Junior Caminero. He's got the cleanest power profile in the Derby. He's carrying 80.8 miles an hour of bat speed and a 94% hard swing rate. That means nearly every competitive swing he takes is full force. His squared up rate is 97%. His blast rate is 88.8%. Those are elite numbers. That's the kind of profile that translates directly to Derby success. One concern in Caminero's swing, he's got a bad pop-up rate. At 8.1%, he's second highest in the field. With swings being limited, no time, only swings, pop-ups are dead swings. But the upside is enormous. And he also gets a 5-point park boost going from Tropicana Field to Citizens Bank Park. He's already had a huge stretch this season, including a 463-foot blast, the longest of his career. And he's the only hitter in the field with previous Derby experience. He lost last year's final to Cal Raleigh. If you want the clearest favorite, it's Junior Caminero. Jack Caglione is right there too. With his bat speed of 79.4 miles an hour and a 92.2% hard swing rate and a 91.2% blast rate, he's got the best in the field. And a ridiculous 2.9% pop-up rate, he's got the lowest in the group. That combination is dangerous. He also has the longest average home run distance in the field at 418 feet. He's tied for longest in baseball among hitters with at least 10 home runs. 11 of his 14 home runs this year are no doubters. He's already shown what kind of raw damage he can do, and if the contact holds up, the ball isn't coming back. Number 3, we get into Jordan Walker. His bat speed is 79.2 miles an hour. He's got a 90.9, almost 91, hard swing rate, a 97% squared up rate, and a 56.7% air ball rate, among the highest in the field. And that matters because he gets a park upgrade too. He plays at Busch Stadium, which is a 97 park factor. Citizens Bank is 101. That is a jump. He's already hit a 454-foot home run this year at 116.6 miles an hour off the bat. His production has finally caught up to the tools. This year, the tools stopped being a promise and they started being a result. Moving down the list, we get into Wilson Contreras from the Red Sox. He is a more volatile hitter, but he's still dangerous. His squared-up rate is 98.3%, second highest in the field. His pull air rate is 26%, the highest in the group. That is a perfect Derby shape, if he's making the right contact. His pop-up rate is also high at 11%, and that keeps him from moving up the list any further. He can absolutely win a round. He just has more risk than the top names. Ben Rice is the outlier. He's got the lowest bat speed in the field. He's got the lowest hard swing rate, but he's got the highest squared up rate and a very low pop-up rate. He's a precision hitter, not a force hitter, which works great in a regular game. But in a derby built around raw power, I don't think that he can outlast the others. And the others include hometown hero Bryce Harper, the face of the event. The one player in this field who can make the entire place feel like it's leaning his way. But digging through the numbers, he's a little different from the rest. His hard swing rate is 62.5%, the lowest in the field by a wide margin. In the Derby, where every swing should be aggressive, that matters. This format rewards swing intent, and Harper's approach is more measured than the others. But the rest of the profile still plays. His squared-up rate is 99.7%, and his pop-up rate is just 3.2%. He's got the highest batter run value in the field at 130.2. And we touched on it earlier. He's hit 59 home runs in this park since 2023. Bryce Harper has also won a home run derby before. Back in 2018, at his home park in Washington. This stage is not new to him. Okay, here's how I rank him. Number 1, Junior Caminero, best shot in the field. Number 2, Jack Caglione, can definitely get through to the semis. Number 3, Jordan Walker. Number 4, Wilson Contreras. Number 5, Bryce Harper. Number 6, Ben Rice. Number 7, the late entry, Kyle Schwarber. Obviously a puncher's chance. The man has done nothing but damage at Citizens Bank Park. And the last entry in the Derby field is Munetaka Murakami. Murakami can do a lot of damage. He doesn't have the experience in this park, and he doesn't have the experience in American baseball right now. It's going to be a great show that Murakami's going to put on. He's got a chance to get to the semifinals. I want to see what happens tonight on Netflix. That's the Derby. Now, let's widen the lens. Saturday's draft gave us our first real look at how some of baseball's best amateur pipelines actually operate. This isn't every team in the draft. It's just the clubs that came in with an elite grade and a clear organizational track record. And on day one, the shape of those philosophies showed up fast. One first-round pick doesn't tell you much. Cumulative 4 rounds do. And then the real identity shows up. We're going to start with the White Sox. The first 4 rounds tell you exactly what kind of repair job they're trying to run. College certainty at the top, prep upside in the middle, and then college arms to finish. Rock Kolowski at 1. Landon Tomei and Cole Prosek in the middle. Joey Volchko and Eric Segura to close. That's a front office trying to patch a farm system that ran dry without waiting too long for help. It was sensible. Maybe a little scattered, but sensible. Tampa Bay looked like Tampa Bay. They took the high ceiling shortstop at 2 and then went right back into the pitching pipeline. 3 of their first 5 picks were arms, which isn't surprising. It's the Rays doing what the Rays do. And we've all seen the Rays use their farm system and develop pitching. The Giants were even more direct. They took 4 pitchers in their first 5 picks. No mystery there. The Giants clearly decided the answer to their development problem was volume. A college arm, a prep arm, another prep arm, and then another college pitcher. The Giants came in with a pipeline problem, and they attacked it with arms from every direction. The Nationals were the least coherent class of the group, and it's not automatically a criticism. They just didn't have a visible thread. They took a college second baseman and an outfielder, then a shortstop, and then a pitcher. So they took 4 different positions in 4 rounds. It seemed to be a team taking the best player available, really without a strong organizational shape, guiding the board or guiding who they talked to. And now let's get into the best identity of all, and that was Seattle. Every pick was a college player, all 4 rounds, no one from high school. But that lines up with exactly how Seattle has built its recent teams. College players, fast movers, real production, clean timelines. Spend a little bit less time dealing with player development, less to teach. They come in from college ready to go, and that's what Seattle wants. If you wanted one class to hand to a scouting student as an example of organizational conviction, this is the one. Milwaukee may have had the most balanced class of the bunch. They took a prep shortstop. They took 2 college bats in the middle, and then a prep arm to finish. They have upside on the edges. They have safety in the middle. That's a deliberate way of looking at the draft and how they expect their player development to take care of those hitters. 1 pick, like I said, that's noise. 4 picks, you start to see the philosophy. Tampa Bay drafted like Tampa Bay. Seattle drafted like Seattle. They pick college players. The Giants attacked its pitching pipeline. And the Nationals, they look like a team searching for a shape. Milwaukee, more than anyone else in this group, drafted like a club that knows exactly what it wants. That's where the pipeline grades matter the most. Not in the headline, not the flashy picks. It's the pattern. And that's the reality through all of this. The Derby is more than the trophy chase people remember. The draft is more than the first name called on stage. In both cases, the real story is usually in the structure underneath. It could be the park. It might be the swing profile. It could be the player pool. And it might just be the organizational pattern. If you stop trusting the easy version and start looking at the shape of the thing, baseball gets a lot more interesting. Philadelphia is about to be the center of the baseball world, and maybe a little baseball angst, too. Tonight, the Home Run Derby kicks off on Netflix at 8 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow night on Fox, the 96th All-Star Game gets underway with first pitch at 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll have live look-ins across Substack, so make sure you're following along. That's The Line. New episodes drop every Monday morning. Like, follow, and share. Subscribe to The Baseball Nerd on Substack. Recaps, standings, and box scores are always live at thebaseballnerd.com. And I'll see you next Monday.